Exultia, that was the one. Okay, translation from the Ligra Sultagenta, Book of Kings. Let's see. Isn't that cool? That should be some kind of a panorama thing instead. So, what treachery comes from our darkest selves, driven by greed and want? For I have been deceived by the Dig. They came north. Oh, the Dig. They came north with I, the priests, as allies to our cause against the Khan Maker and her unscrupulous methods. Their silvery tongues wagging, they laid a plan for us and sowed the seed of desire for hasty triumph. They claimed knowledge of the Maker's source of power in the demon realm, a vast foundry of souls where the innocent are put to the fire for the essence. In the foundry's destruction, our victory is assured, they told us, and the fools that we were, that I am believed their lies. On their word, we sent the Doomslayer and the Night Sentinels to destroy the foundry, and the priests cast a gate for their egress. As the last veteran entered the demon's empire, our final hope of reclaiming our domination, the Dig closed the path and left them stranded. They were trapped, lost in the eternal void by the action of the traitors. How could I not see their intention? Am I blinded by grief for the loss of Taras Nabat, of my people? We have fled again with barely a legion of the Night Sentinels left to protect us. The Dig are gone, returned to their mistress. May the race forgive my failure. The Hell Knight. The thing with eyes right now, because it makes sense to have eyes on a planet with light on it. The chain gun can quickly fall to this demon. But I don't have that thing right now. Too bad. The Hell Knight warrior, beast among demons, has earned its place over the millennia in service of the eternal archdemons. As imposed by the sovereign houses, Hell Knights have long served as barbaric enforcers of the netherworld, impelling lesser demons by way of brutality, rare among demonkind for its innate regard for primal orders of hierarchy. The Hell Knight exhibits adherence to the prevailing rule of its demon lord masters, requiring little compulsion on behalf of its high-born masters. Hell Knights readily serve the elder Hell Gods for the extent of their lifespans, reaping great satisfaction in the way of war and desecration. Yeah, until they can't kill anything anymore. So, blasted out of midair to instantly trigger a stagger. Oh, okay. Or just hit it like any other enemy. Like their imbrethren, the gargoyle is an agile, relentless pack hunter native to the Sentinel world. This beast has plagued the Sentinel Guard for centuries as one of the few demon breeds that could bypass the walled defenses of Sentinel Prime. The gargoyle could appear without warning and claim hapless townspeople before disappearing into the wasteland. Only the most skilled marksman of the Night Sentinels could intercept this aerial threat, a peril which demanded an ever-vigilant watch over the city's perimeter. Yeah, something about the blood punch, glory killing, yeah. And this weapon point, the wolf, finally. Argenta or Argenta legends speak of sentinel beasts, loyal creatures that lived as companions of the hardened warriors, often larger, swifter, and stronger than others of their kind. These animals shared instincts with their masters and aided them in battle. The Night Sentinels never shared publicly the origin of these creatures, for only they stood worthy of them. Part 1. What's that image? It's a moon with a sphere in it. And translation from the Ligra Sultagenta, Book of Kings. In the days before man first spoke, an immense shard of rock and metal was cast onto the world from the heavens. Thunder and cataclysm shook the land as the skies were torn asunder. The cosmic spear cleft a hole through our mortal lands, pole to pole, from the cold wastes of the umbral plains to the fetid swamps of Ironfang. The womb of the world opened, and the elemental rifts, the firstborn, spilled forth. They took to the skies, fierce in their emancipation. In their exaltation, they brought vitality to the land, and all that felt their breath were awakened from the eternal slumber. Fierce beasts and an unforgiving biosphere rose in the passing of their shadow as the rave call echoed across Argenta to Nur. First came the Ancestrals, feral creatures invigorated by the magic of the wraiths. They grew to enormous heights, mighty behemoths, who waged war with each other for years untold. Their battle tore the land asunder and destroyed all creation caught in their wake. The wraith call continued to spread across the land, and soon the Argenta emerged from the steppes, our souls stirred into form by the power of their breath. The Titans towered over the the wild-blooded tribes, but found them uncowed. The secret of the sword was discovered, and in the darkness of sweltering mountain forges, we beat steel until it was strong enough to pierce bone and sever flesh. Thus we came to be, born of rock and fire, lowly in birth, but risen by the strength of our will. By the blessedness of the first ones, we forget. Yeah, it's forget. Is it forget? How do you write forget? F-O... With a T or with a... that's weird. Probably with a T. We forged sword and shield and took the hammer to the Ancestrals. We claimed domination of creation by right of blood and magic with a C and a K. And the time of man came to be. With the ancestral beasts driven back to their bleak valleys, we rose. We tilled the fertile land, husbanded the beasts of burden, and built towering cities in the hollowed palace on the obsidian throne. We crowned King Omera, the father, the first of the line that shall reign in perpetuity. We built the Cathedral of Reflection to worship the first ones and formed the Order of the Deek, whose priests pay tribute to the wraiths and appease their tempestuous hunger. Our sons and daughters choose the path of the sword or the path of the alchemists, for each duty honors the gods. Though our ways were righteous, we were not without strife. Storms and great quakes cast our spires down. Barbaric tribes laid siege to our fields in search of the great gifts Mother Argenta had bestowed upon our world, and the song of the Wraith Call threatened to drive lesser men into madness. We were not lesser men. We defended that which we first once gifted to us, our lands and right to the bounty held within. We beat back the barbarian hordes and hardened our resolve. We rose above the fire, our bodies and souls tempered, and an unbreakable will was shaped in the forge of battle. What emerged was the heart of our legion, the Order of the Knights Sentinels. Nice. Like, it kind of reminds me of the panspermia idea, like that the life comes from, like, meteors-ish. And there's the dash and whatnot. King Navig ruled our Sentinel... Wait, there we go. Ruled over Sentinel Prime. It's like... Wait, Sentinel Prime? Wait a minute. What's the one from Transformers? Prime... Optimus. But what was the world called? I think this was also called Prime. Anyway, King Novik ruled over Sentinel Prime for many years as its warrior patriarch, ordained protector of the sovereign Sentinel world. The Sentinel people, defined by a legacy of war, deemed only those of warrior caste be fit to rule, and in times of battle it is expected that the king led from the battlefield rather than from the safety of the throne. As it is written in Sentinel law, a king unfit for battle is likewise unfit to rule. Well, it depends, really. Like, one for battle is for battle, one for ruling is for ruling. Just because you are in battle does not mean shit. For millennia, the Sentinel people have secured their civilization against the threat of invasion from beast and human alike, passing on the mantle of battle to each subsequent generation and refining the craft of war into an art of ultimate mastery. Even in times of peace, the Knight Sentinels remain vigilant and developing new technologies of conquest, each the more capable of securing their dominion across the sovereign world. Secret encounters, sure, I read all up on those. Plasma rifle. Designed by the UAC's military tech division, the plasma rifle is the standard in energy-based weaponry, firing a superheated plasma in rapid short burst intervals. The plasma rifle is capable of overloading energy-based shielding and liquefying enemy combatant. Let's read up on this. The Revenant program, a bioweapon experiment utilizing reanimated necrotic human tissue, was believed to have been destroyed with the collapse of the UAC facility on Mars. However, the emergence of the cultist enclaves on Earth, former UAC deviations now under Hell's direct control, have begun work on a second wave of production of the Revenant program. While much of the platform's existing weapon payload is preserved as originally designed, the cyberneural programming has undergone modification. Pattern signals are wired to the host's frontal cortex, which in turn simulate a state of frenzied, unrestrained bloodlust. While these signals are active, the host is incapable of thinking or feeling anything but a singular compulsion to inflict death and violence on the living. Interesting. So this is one of those enemies that I would say are AI controlled, maybe. Weak points Revenant, of course. There we go. Also, it looks really nice. Look at that. Wait a minute. So, so these god kind of thingies, the Khan makers, were supposed to be gods or something. Interesting. And this one looks like one of those priests. Interesting. So, translation from the Liagra Sulta Book of Kings. In the time of grief, when King Edrex took the throne, a blessing came to the people of Argenta. White porcelain beings from a world above our own brought gifts to Danur, observers to our great deeds, admirers of our convictions. They sought to make bond with our swords and bring lasting order to our world. These were beings unlike any we had seen before. Sword and shield held no weight against them, for the ethereal flesh of these luminous beings seemed unbound by mortality. Able to move through time and space, they held sway over all dominions of the known and unknown dimensions. Through their ways we grew stronger, our society bolstered by their infinite wisdom and all-knowing power, assuring our people safety for all time in this world and the next, where we sharpened the blade and mastered our magic. They bolstered the soul and spirit. Death would no longer be the end for our people, the ones we call the Makers. What a can't make it says maker, but our new allies in this brutal world have given us the security in death we fought so hard to achieve in life. We would find eternal peace, and our minds would rest easy with the knowledge that those we fought alongside in battle would join us in the lands beyond the mortal plane. The strength of our ways, the purity of our essence would, by Maker law, grant us passage to the great city in the clouds. There our women and children, warriors and kin alike would welcome us. We adopted the holy doctrines of the Makers, gifted in exchange with the chance to earn eternal rest for our immortal souls in blessed Urdak. The covenant we held now under the embrace of our new gods fostered a peace we had never known, for they were unlike the first ones, whose presence offered no paradise from fear and the uncertainty of existence in a harsh and unforgiving world. The Maker's embrace was warm and guided us into an era of spiritual prosperity. So how come they are now like the lords of all the demons or something like this? They seem to be good entities, but now they turned, of course, as they usually do. This is the part 3, so let's look at that. These are the space stations. One of many, it seems. And translation from the Liagra Sulta Book of Kings. With machine and enchantment of the Makers, the Argenta brought our newfound clarity to the disparate realm of the Empyrean Void. We took flight with the support of our gods, spreading the enlightened word of the Khan Maker. We discovered there was not one enemy, but many. Worlds and but many. Worlds and peoples unknown to the Argenta were unveiled, and we saw our own suffering reflected in their eyes. Our righteous army strode into battle under the banner of the Night Sentinels and fought for the freedom of all peoples from the grasp of those who would exploit and prey upon them. Though we battled on soil not our own, the blood was shed in foreign land, safeguarded Argent Dunul and the sons and daughters that defended it. Through these strange peoples we liberated, new alliances were formed, and our beliefs became their own. Our armies swelled. As the Argenta traveled the stars with gleaming war fleets, the Khan of the Makers approached King Rowan on his throne. He sensed his guard restless by her disquiet manner. Okay. The king and Khan spoke, and the guard revealed she had foreseen a schism in the blood of the Argenta. A test would be required to identify its host among us. She spoke of a holy rite to be performed on the strongest of our warriors. Only those that proved worthy would be tested, for the impurity could reside in only the most resilient of our legion, the divinity machine. A great tribute by Maker Scholaris would help us to cleanse any impurities from our flock, ensuring our continuous prosperity in this world and in the Maker realm that awaited in the afterlife. The malicious one, if not exhumed from our ranks, would jeopardize our safe passage to the heavenly realm of Ura. The Dark One was not amongst them yet, nor would he be for many generations. Only the Mother God, through divination and Maker sight, would determine when he stood before them. The Makers were truth, and only their unclouded eyes could find the one who was marked. The prophecy of the Unholy One was written, but through the ages the warning grew faint until only the Khan Maker herself and the High Priest of the Order Deek still whispered of he that would one day come to threaten their way of light. Which is probably me, but okay. Kind of weird. So they were talking about some kind of machine, which could be the UAC AI that just produces all of the demons, and this is kind of a test for the Doomslayer, it seems. It's kind of weird, but why? All right. Then we got the Lost Soul. This one. Shoot it with a shotgun to send it flying, causing a delayed explosion. The ice bomb will instantly kill a Lost Soul. Not just that, the Lost Soul has its origin amongst the damned former humans who have fallen from the mortal world, doomed to an unliving eternity as sin-branded slaves of hell. The damned are seemingly endless in number, their populations growing by the thousands with each rise of the black sun. For many, the torturous existence of crushing slave labor is all that awaits. The bodies of the damned are brittle, and those who become broken in labor, their bodies ruined, dismembered, or otherwise incapable of servitude, are transported to the pits where their souls must be extracted for further use. Those fortunate enough to escape this process are what inevitably become lost souls. Their spirits transmogrified into physical form. The lost soul knows only madness, its memory a haunted image of its former mortal life. These creatures live a fleeting existence, roaming mindlessly, seeking only that which can grant them a final death. Okay. So this is why they explode. And then, of course, we got the dash refill. Goody. Wait a minute. I have to click on it. Makes sense. The Betrayer. Oh, this is the Betrayer. Vegetated entry. After years of prolonged war against the demonic threat invading their world, Argent Nur launched an offensive strike across dimensions, sending their greatest warriors into the heart of hell itself. Despite their training and their preparedness, their honor was undone by deceit. Betrayal at the highest levels of command left Argent Nur's bravest warrior cut off and scattered in the hellscape. But Of these last remaining Night Sentinels, only one remained in hell by choice. Betrayer of the Argenta, it was Commander Valen who relinquished the keys to the elemental sepulchre in return for his son's resurrection. Haunted by demonic visions, the image of his son's tortured existence plagued him without relent, the whispers of demons pushing him towards madness. In a moment of weakness, he fell prey to the demons' trickery, sealing the fate of Argent Nur and dooming the kingdom of which he saw a lifelong oath to protect. Valen chose exile in the hellscape for his sacrilege. What about that one? Oh, there, the Dread Knight. Oh, okay. I didn't even look that close at the enemy. I was too much focused on not getting killed. Okay, the chain gun can quickly falter this demon. Not only that one, also the energy blaster, whatever that thing is. With the micro beam. A variation of the Hell Knight breed, the Dread Knight, has been modified and hardwired for aggression, armed with an exoprosthesis powering energy blade augments. The Dread Knight is the lethal result of UAC cultist engineering. Epinephrine regulators modulate the Dread Knight with an unbroken flow of rage-addled adrenaline, while its endorphin receptors have been synchronized to respond with the use of its arm-mounted blades. With each kill, the Dread Knight is injected with a flood of artificial dopamine. As a result of its augmentation, the Dread Knight is driven by a biochemically engineered state of pure, unbroken rage, like all the other demons, a suffering for which respite can only be found in the act of the kill. And of course, we got ourselves the Empyrean Key. Yep. Unlocking a powerful artifact with the Fortress of Doom. Power-up temporarily gives you special abilities. Killing with a power-up extends its duration. Onslaught increases the damage of each shot. Overdrive increases movement speed and gives infinite ammo. Ooh. And Berserk allows players to instantly rip and tear any demon.